Hello amigos, welcome back. Today we are going to be having a look at the new event for Child. Yes, he is out. Patch 1.1 again, it's live, as I said in my previous video. And today we're going to be having a look at Child. Now, I'm pretty excited about him. I really am looking forward to playing with him. I haven't yet played with him yet. I'm looking forward to seeing the dual wielding skills of Child and how that all works. So let's get him up. Okay, so the first talent, obviously, he does have two different modes. So he does have the bow mode, which I believe is here, and Riptide, we're calling it, is when he's using his water style daggers that kind of turn into a staff as well. But anyway, so you've got 6 consecutive shots with bow. It's pretty standard. Charge shot is actually going to give you a precise shot, so an aim shot. So that's pretty cool. That's not like the other characters, unless they've changed that in the game. I'll have to check. So here we go, Riptide. So all opponents affected by Riptide will suffer AoE hydro damage. So it is not going to be a physical damage, it will be a hydro damage. Riptide Slash, a fully charged aim shot that hits an opponent affected by Riptide, deals bonus damage and can occur every 0.7 seconds. That's pretty big. Riptide Burst, defeating an opponent affected by Riptide creates a Hydro Burst that inflicts Riptide status on nearby. So basically, you're always going to be doing a little bit of extra normal damage as long as you're hitting with your bow first, hitting with a charge shot first, and then going into your Riptide and then attacking. Okay, so let's go. 4 Legacy Raging Blade. Oh, not Raging Tide, sorry. Here we go. Unleashes a set of weaponry made of pure water, dealing hydro damage. Entering a melee stance. In this stance, we gain the following attacks. So this is basically like having 2 of the first talents. So normal strikes, 6 consecutive hydro strikes. So again, if we go back into that. Oh, so actually, Riptide is actually something that is affected by the bow. I apologize. So yeah, I'm so fixated on him. Him changing into a different stance. That is that. So Riptide is actually a debuff, we could say, that when we hit enemies with an aim shot or a charge shot, it's going to give them the Riptide debuff. So let's go back in. Okay, so we got the charge attack. So basically, he does have 2 complete sets of moves, which is insane. I think this is the first character to have this. Just look at him just staring at us. But anyways, so yeah, he is going to have a charged attack as well. Riptide Slash, so here we go again. So hitting an opponent affected by Riptide, again, which we do using our bow, is going to cause AoE damage to that target and to, is it the target's around? So that does AoE damage, yes, so damage is done this way is considered elemental skill, and it can occur every 1.5 seconds. After 30 seconds, or when an ability is unleashed again, this skill will end. So his melee stance only lasts 30 seconds. Right. So the longer he stays in his melee stance, the longer the cooldown, and if you return to the range start occurred after 30 seconds, the cooldown is even longer. So basically, you're going to have to sort of time when you come out of this. You don't want to stay in it for the full duration, otherwise the cooldown is going to be longer. So now his Elemental Burst, not his Elemental Burst, that's his combat talent. No, yeah, Elemental Burst. Elemental Burst is going to perform two different moves depending on what stance he's in. So in your rage stance, he's going to fire a magic imbue bow, dealing AoE damage, and it's going to give Riptide status to all the monsters in that area that is big. Okay, so if you could hit a large group of enemies with that and get the Riptide status, I'm just assuming we haven't played him yet. We will play him and try and showcase as much of this as possible. And if it's the melee stance, it performs a slash with large AoE damage. It causes him dealing massive hydro damage to all opponents, and it also triggers Riptide Blast. Riptide Blast, when the water hits the opponent with Riptide, it clears their Riptide status and triggers a Hydro Explosion that deals AoE Hydro damage. So this guy has got a lot of things involving damage. It seems like he's going to be definitely one to look out for as a DPS character. never ending. It extends by 8 seconds, and when he gets his melee stance, if his normal attacks do crit, they will also apply Riptide status. So basically, it's all about Riptide here. It's all about giving them that Riptide debuff and then hitting them so that you can get extra damage. And increases all your... Okay, there we go. Okay, can't complain about that as well. Alright, so let's get into it now. Let's actually showcase him and actually show off his abilities and his talents as well. So here we go. We've got the main man himself, and we finally got control of him. So let's just take a look before we start this. So there's the normal consecutive. I'll hold it down, looking for the charge shot. You can't really aim it on a control pad, but obviously I'm assuming if you're using mouse, that's not going to be a problem for you. But for us, oops, I just activated the skill. For us on the using control pads, you can always just use the aimed charge shot like usual. They're trying to sort of cater to everyone's needs here, I guess. So let's switch to the other stance, the melee stance, and look at that. Look at that. We've got a brilliant smooth set, very cool. I mean, if he's the only character in the game to be using daggers, we'll make sure, remembering that if we extend the cooldown, it's going to be a long cooldown. So we'll make sure that we tap out of that. And I'm seeing a 16 seconds cooldown. Hope I'm getting that correctly. So let's have a look. I haven't actually played with him before, so this should be interesting. Right, so let's hit some. Let's get the Riptide status. Missed that one. But let's have a look. So there we go. So you can see it's now increased Riptide on all the enemies in the area. And make sure we tab out, and we'll go back and finish them off with some charge shots. Obviously just waiting for that cooldown. So like I said, let's hit them with that. Hit them with that. We're then going to switch stance and finish them off. Yeah, I mean, I really think he's an interesting character. Ooh, see, I'm so used to hitting the elemental skill that you've got to be careful that you don't take yourself out of the stance when you're not quite finished. So let's build it up. Let's switch stance, and then we'll use this and see. Okay, so that's a basic slash. It's not really got much to it. Alright, so we're going to pop out, and we are going to go back to the charge shots. So I see it's sort of a combination of going in between the melee stance and the range stance. Let's see if we can get them all with it. And once we finish that, we will then switch back. And we finish them off with that. And we've got one in the background. Go. Yeah, I mean, I'm really liking his gameplay style. Switching back to the bow. You can always just finish off characters easily. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool character. We are just going to smack this guy's so easy. These guys are going to be much easier to take out now because their shield, it's nothing. And then we can just go straight in with the combos from the melee side of things. Can we finish him before it runs out? And we can. So that's it there. My controller disconnected it. But yeah, as you see, I've actually managed to extend the full cooldown, and it gave me a hefty 40-second cooldown. But yeah, that's it for the video. What do you think of Child? I'm impressed. I think he's definitely a very interesting mechanic. Using the bow, the switch daggers, and then the staff pops out, and you've got two different specials, and you're always sort of switching in and out of what you're using, getting that Riptide status to see if you can deal extra damage. I think he's a pretty interesting character. Whether or not I roll on his banner, I am going to definitely give it a few goes, but obviously I am trying my hardest to save up for the next banner for Zhongli, because I think he is an amazing character from what I've seen so far. Okay, so guys, that's the end of the video. Make sure you let me know what you think of Child. Will you be rolling on his banner? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And guys, I will see you in the next video. FrostiesAmigo, out.